My name is Gary Butterfield,
My name is Cole Ross,
and this is Monster My Podcast.
and these are Gorgons.
There's a monster in my podcast.
Indeed it is.
Yeah. So this is probably best known from Castlevania.
Yeah. You also fight them in Bastion
Oh, yeah.
and some other things, except the ones in Castlevania or Bastion don't walk on their hind legs, which is like by far the coolest thing about these.
They can. They can if they want to. Well, it's like those those gifs of really scared cats that are just like sitting there and will run away on their hind legs. But that is, I mean, it's a great detail. I would not take it away. However, the fact that they put that in is inscrutable to me.
It's a very, very weird thing.
Yeah.
To add to this, like, and just imagining like anything these things do, if you imagine them doing it on their hind legs, it makes it way funnier and stupider. Like that's these things' greatest strength, and they're not using it. Where like, hey, let's all walk around our hind legs for a little while, so adventurers will not take us seriously, and then we turn them to stone.
Yep. Also, they can turn you to stone with a jet of fog breath that shoots 60 feet. That is
60 feet.
That is 2 downs in football, Gary.
Yeah, it's pretty bonkers. And then they turn you to stone and then eat you while you're stone.
Yeah,
which that's great. Like you come across like there's you walk into an enchanted glade. And you find there's statues all around. You're like, oh, okay, it's gonna be a fucking basilisk. And then you come and there's a Gorgon standing on its hind legs, nibbling biting the hand over these things. When it sees you, it walks away on its hind legs. Like, what kind of Twin Peaks second ed are you like living at that point? Like advanced in Twin Peaks second edition.
ATP.
Yeah. I got kicked out of my StarCraft league because of my ATP.
Well, you know, if you're older than 17, then just there's no place for you in that game.
You just chop off your hands.
put them in the museum. But even more than that, on your way into that magical glade, you were finding droppings, some of which had pieces of gold stuck in it.
Yeah,
because they don't really care. They're not out there for treasure. They will petrify somebody, eat them whole without regard to whether or not they have like valuable stuff on them. So Gorgon stool is a valuable source of valuables.
Yeah. Into it. Gorgon stool sounds like a town in like a Witcher game or something. But yeah, there's just the idea of you finding these like, you know, rings and gold fillings and stuff and shit, then coming across the statues and stuff. Like there's kind of a cool little like arc to these things. And then they just have the D&D second edition problem of being an instant death attack.
Yeah.
That makes it like actually not very cool. Like, even though the last time I played Symphony of the Night, I was a little bummed out by the way petrification worked in it, because there's no consequence to it. You can't take damage and you just kind of shake the controller until you're done. It's just a time tax. But I still think a less lethal petrification is a better way to do it.
Oh yeah, like the
way like Final Fantasy Tactics does it or something. Yeah, or like Final Fantasy games do it.
Yeah, progressive petrification is always going to be scarier, or just give me a chance to react.
Scarier and more fair.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah,
and also you can turn these guys into scale mail, which I call coward's plate.
Yeah, coward's plate, bad chainmail. Yeah, and so they're another like medicine cabinet enemy, and we haven't had one this entire session.
Right.
Like nobody's telling us what you can get from like stealing, Snirfilum testicles and like turning them into certain, reagents.
There was one of the golems where you could take their claws and they were used as like brooch clasps or whatever.
Yeah, but if you're already making the golem, that's weird. It feels like a life hack.
Hey, you can use these claws as bread clips.
Yeah.
Put your bagel sandwich in this Gorgon skull.
Since we've been recording for a while and I'm pretty much out of steam.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell a story that is I don't mean to disappoint you that much. No. I'm just tired. But I don't have that much more to say about Gorgons.
Neither do I.
I will and this doesn't have to be literally the stinger, but I'll tell you a funny story that I may have mentioned before that's related to what you just said, where the guy who I used to play D&D with when I was young is this guy named Doug, who I became like not friends with, and now I'm on friendly terms. Like I feel sorry for that dude, but you used to be friends with him, stopped being friends with him. His mom was like unwell and kind of unstable.
Okay.
And she used to get like, she was kind of like very yuppie, like very kind of posh, and would try to like threaten Doug with things that were nonsensical threats.
Ooh.
So one of the things was we'd be snacking and playing D&D and play video games and stuff. He brought these Ruffles, the chips with the ridges. He would bring them downstairs, and they had like a chip clip on them. And he left it downstairs for a long time. And I came upstairs one time, and she was like yelling at him. And this, like, this sounds darker than it was. Like, he was laughing about this too, where she was like, if you're going to keep like hoarding the chip clips down there, I'm going to make you use the bad ones. We got some bad chip clips, and you're going to have to use them.
They're everybody's chips.
And also, what an impotent threat. Like, out of all the things in the world, like, you can use a good version of a chip clip. What a stupid thing to optimize. Like, it is a chip clip. I'm like, it is literally a binder clip does that same job exactly as good and has existed forever. Like, we were born with binder. We were made men by the binder clips. We have binder clips. So like, it was such a silly thing. And like, I laughed, and then Doug laughed, and she got so fucking pissed. Like, we were laughing at her, like, her impotent non-threat about using a medium quality chip clip.
Oh no, the spring might have lost most of its elasticity.
Yeah, so it'll only keep these chips fresh.
Brought to you by our backers at patreon.com.